Hey, I'm Sheila. Over the next 10 days, I'll be following the Hebridean Way, a cycle route that spans the length of the Outer Hebrides of Scotland. It's a fully paved, signed route. Should be pretty easy, right? That was so dumb. I feel like I'm being stabbed in the abdomen. Oh my god! Yeah. Let's start at the beginning. Several people have warned me about the sparseness of resources on the Western Isles, so I spend a few days on the mainland picking up groceries, tuning up my bike, and doing laundry in my finest laundry day attire. Finally, at 5:30 a.m., the time for adventure is here. I'm off to catch the 7-hour ferry from Oban to the Outer Hebrides. The saying goes that bike touring is great until you need to take your bike on any other means of transportation. Although I generally agree, I have to say that ferries are my favorite. The Outer Hebrides, also known as the Western Isles or Nehallan and Sheer, are a chain of islands off the west coast of mainland Scotland. They're known for their diverse wildlife, their archaeological sites, and their preservation of Gaelic traditions and language. Unfortunately, I found out a little too late that they're also known for their weather. They recommend doing the ride south to north to go with the winds, which is what I'm doing, but that just means that the start of the ride, I just go south a little bit to get to the bottom of the island, and I already understand why it's better to do it in the opposite direction. Let me just go ahead and turn that wind noise volume right on down. There, that's better. But just know, although you may not hear it, it's definitely still there. I don't understand how it's possible, but I'm going north now, and I still have a headwind. How does that happen? Law of bike touring? But a little wind certainly won't stand in the way of enjoying these beautiful islands and all they have to offer. Caught in the wild, a raggedy cat in the Isles of Scotland. Good day to you. Good day. The Outer Hebrides consist of more than 70 islands that are interconnected by ferries and causeways. My current mission over the next few days is to reach the top of North Uist, roughly halfway through the Hebridean Way. And I can already tell from this first day that the weather may challenge me, but it's gonna be a beautiful ride. The wind is coming from the north today, so I'm gonna have a headwind all day. Oh, it just feels so intense. Can't even keep my hood on. I just started feeling the sense of like, what am I doing? Like, what is this for? Why am I out here? It feels cold and windy, and I lost my coffee. Like, I could be home watching trashy TV and eating chips. What am I doing? What am I doing out here, guys? I don't know. Just keep going, I guess. Well, on that radiatingly positive note, let's go. My first mission is to get to a cafe for some sweet, sweet coffee. But I'm learning you never make it far out here before getting distracted by something cool. Oh my god, I saw a bunch of bunnies over here, and now I know why. They made a little bunny fortress. Little bunny kings and queens over here. They're just like running through these fields, and then they run into their holes. I was just coming along this kind of random path because I was reconnecting to the main route after going wild camping, and I came across this but looks like the ruins of an old church, and then it's a Commonwealth graveyard. A number of the gravestones are from people that passed away in the wars, but they've been redone. It feels like there's so much history on these islands, and also my impression is a very deep sense of community. I'm really excited to learn more. I am thrilled to find coffee, but even more thrilled to find a lovely museum attached to the cafe. I'm in it for no more than a minute when I realize I really need to reframe my mindset from this morning. Yes, being hit by wind all day is hard, but people have lived on these islands for centuries in far more challenging conditions. For generations, you couldn't just pick up a down jacket off the rack. Wool had to be spun, dyed, weaved. Furniture was made of driftwood, mattresses of seaweed or straw. Small family farms, known as crofts, took enormous time and energy. Potatoes would be buried in the sand and dug up as needed to avoid famine. In the context of all that, a little wind and some lost coffee seems like a pretty easy day. I head off empowered by this new perspective, grateful for the opportunity to simply be here, experiencing this special piece of the world. Oh my god, there's a seal in the water. Can you see him? Can you see that little black dot? I think it's a little seal. It's this little head, he's just bobbing up and down. Okay guys, be honest with me. How ridiculous do I look? On account of the sunburn I got a few days ago, I got my little ET getup on to protect my cheeks from the sun and wind. I say having never watched ET. He always seemed kind of scary as a kid. One thing I'm just starting to get used to on the Outer Hebrides is you're very exposed. There are no trees and few buildings. So if the wind is in your face or the sun is bearing down on you, that's what you've got, and you've got to work with it. That's a stroke of good luck. A grocery store. Coffee in hand, and I'm ready to power on. But the universe has other plans. I was looking for a wild camp spot when I noticed that my phone charger has just sheared right off. I've never seen that. I did not even know that was possible. Fortunately, there's a campground nearby, so let's go there and maybe see if they can help us. Okay, I was able to use some pliers to get the little piece from my phone charger that was stuck out of my phone, so that's good news. And the very kind owners of the campground lent me a charging cord to get a little juice in my phone so that hopefully tomorrow I can make it to a shop that will hopefully have a cord. I have been so lucky with the weather since I got here. It's been sunny for weeks, which is not common from Scotland, but it's probably gonna rain for the first time this afternoon. So I need to patch a couple holes in my tent before I get on the road today. I head off on a quest to get to the nearby shop to get a new charging cable. But I don't make it far before I need a break. I am in so much pain. I'm on my period and everything hurts from my boobs down. I have this deep ache in my back, my legs ache, I feel like I'm being stabbed in the abdomen. Normally on a really bad day of my period, I'm like, just take it easy, have a rest day. But this is probably the last consistent sunshine I'm gonna see in a while. So I took an ibuprofen and I'm pushing myself a little. But if I can't do it, I'll rest. With the pain I'm in, I can't help but think of the women who lived here in the past and the millions of women around the world to this day who shoulder this pain without modern medicine or the menstrual products that help me keep riding on a day like this. I may want to rip out my uterus, but I'm grateful to be here. That was so dumb. I have just been in pain and was just kind of like putting my head down, and I missed the shop, and now I'm 11 kilometers past the shop. So let's see if I can find another one to get a new cable at. Hi, I have an iPhone cable that's broken, and I was just wondering if you carry iPhone cables? Okay. Oh, thank you. That's awesome. It's 25 kilometers to the next shop, and the wind goes in and out of my favor. But one thing you can always count on is the kindness of Scots. The cafe staff lend me a charger, which should hopefully get me through the day. The islands are known for their seafood, and along the way, I get to see just how much work goes into it. As I ride along the coast and causeways, I can feel the storm brewing, and know it's time to suit up just in case. Honestly, not a moment too soon. Unfortunately, a new charging cable doesn't seem to be in the cards for me. It's closed. It looks like there's some kind of emergency. I hope everyone's okay. This means the next closest shop is another 20K. Wish me tailwinds. I happened to arrive in Scotland during one of their sunniest springs on record. Scottish Gaelic has over 100 words for rain, so it only seems right that I get to experience the true range of weather they're prone to. Maybe it's the painkillers, maybe it's the magic of the Western Isles. There's a castle in the middle of the lake. Very cool. But honestly, I'm having a pretty great time. I finally find my long sought-after cable and head off to what I see on my maps as a good spot to wild camp. In calmer weather, I'm sure it would be, but today... It's this strong. It's like that. I tried to put myself behind this little bump here, but it's not enough. I don't even want to let go of it. I can't not, but I've never been in conditions like this, and I'm so With what little energy I have left, I know I need to disassemble the tent and get out of here. Oh my god! Okay, one piece at a time, one piece at a time. Just hold on to everything. Just hold on. Okay. I'm wet, I'm freezing, I want desperately to just be cozied up in my sleeping bag. But I get all my soggy stuff packed back up and head off to find another solution. Never have I ever been so grateful for a bus shelter. Find a solution, find a solution, find a solution, find a solution. You know when you've been shivering so much that that little spot between your shoulder blades is just, hurts so much. So tight, so tight. First things first, let's get some dry clothes up in here. That's better. I can't find anywhere with a bit of shelter to block my tent, so I'm just gonna try to find an indoor option if I can. The first two I called were full, so let's try another one. Okay, I finally found one. I called so many places, everywhere is full, but there's one bunkhouse that's 15k away. So, I'm just so cold, but it's okay. I just have to make it there, and then I'll have a bed, and I'll be safe from this weather. I can't even tell you how much I don't want to go out in this. But we're only gonna get warm and dry if we do. So let's go. For the next 15 kilometers, I faced some of the hardest head and crosswinds I've ridden through in my life. Fighting to keep the bike straight, rain burning my cheeks. But finally, I make it to the bunkhouse and a warm, safe bed for the night. In the morning, I feel a little down because a big part of the reason I'm out here is training myself to be more resilient, more independent, more self-reliant. You know, what happens if I'm somewhere where there isn't a bunkhouse 15 kilometers away? But I'm also proud of myself for in that moment recognizing the dangers and doing what I had to keep myself safe. I can't foresee every danger that's going to come my way, but I have to trust that I'll do what I have to in the moment to take care of myself. And now I know there are some winds you just can't camp in, and I've been doing more research into camping in different conditions. I'll leave some resources I've found for that below. All I can do is keep learning and growing. And maybe one day I'll be as tough as the people of the Outer Hebrides who have thrived through these conditions for generations. The journey continues on through the rest of the Outer Hebrides in the next video. You can support the channel and learn more about this route and trip over on Patreon. A huge thank you to all of my patrons. See you in the next one.